Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Obviously, with the season 4 update, we got a brand new map in Warzone, Fortune's Keep. This is obviously a resurgence based map, very similar to Rebirth in a lot of ways, meant to sort of bridge the gap between Rebirth and Caldera. I've been having a blast on it, and today I wanted to break down the top 5 best loadouts to be using specifically for Fortune's Keep. As we go through them, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, or if you're a part of the 54% of viewers who have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, so feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. So the first class I want to break down here features the Vargo and then also the Type 100. Real quick, I'll go over my perks and equipment. This is the same on all the classes. Currently, I'm on the dark side, you know, using Combat Scout and Snapshots because they're mad annoying to run into in every fight, and I feel like if I'm not using them, I'm at a severe disadvantage. It is what it is. Once they're nerfed, we'll go back to a more fun perk and equipment meta, but for now, I am running Cold-Blooded, Overkill, Combat Scout, the Throwing Knife, and Snapshots. Like I said, stays the same on all my setups. Now for the Vargo, this actually got buffed with the season 4 update. It's going to be better for control and velocity, just more consistent all around, and you love to see that. The setup, though, not changing at all from the past, well, however long it's been in the game. It's been the same since then. Grew Suppressor, Task Force Barrel, we're going for the Spetsnaz Grip, the 60-round mags, then also the 3x Optic, the typical Cold War class setup, but it is fantastic for medium to long range fights here on Fortune's Keep. And then for the Type 100, I'm actually going a bit for movement here. Obviously, it has great stats and a great TTK in general. It's a little tricky with the control, but you can actually build it to be very fast for strafe speed and general movement, and that's what we're going for here. So first up, going for recoil booster per usual. We're actually going to go for the light barrel, better ADS, better aim walking move speed or strafe speed, and better sprint to fire, which is very, very solid. I'm also going to go ahead and run the slate reflector here, just your basic red dots. Going to also use the folding stock. You hurt your sprint to fire a bit, but obviously we got some of that on the barrel there. Aim walking move speed though, and better initial firing recoil. You'll love to see that. So again, helping out with the strafe speed. For the underbarrel, I feel like Strife Angle is not a bad choice at all. Better horizontal control, and this thing does have a decent amount of that, so it's actually going to help out quite a bit there. For the magazine, 30 Russian short 36 is going to give you that insane TTK, so we're going to go ahead and run that. Subsonic to stay off the minimap. You could go for a couple of different grips here, honestly. Hatched will help out with that horizontal control, so that'll be pretty solid. Fabric's not bad for the better ADS and better sprint to fire. Polymer's not bad for the better control, but also Taped for even more absurd movement. This thing flies and it fries, obviously. Perk 1, you could go for Gung Ho or Acrobatic. I think both of those are great choices. Also, Fleet as well is pretty solid. Totally comes down to preference there, though. I'm gonna go ahead and run Acrobatic, and then also going for Quick here to round things out. Bit of a different Type 100 setup from usual, but if you try this out, you'll notice that strafe speed is pretty crazy. It allows you to get some pretty fun kills. Setup 2, we got the STG. We got the brand new Marco 5, one of the top SMGs in the game. The thing absolutely fries. It's insane. I was gonna try and make a Marco 5 Marco fries joke, but it didn't work, so we'll move on from that. But STG got a slight nerf, still a top choice though, and the Marco 5, great mobility, great TTK, great control all around. You cannot go wrong with that. STG setup is going to stay the same as it was last season, actually. 760 barrel, MX silencer, 2.5x optic is my personal preference for it. For the stock, we're actually going to go for folding because we have a lot of mid-range fights on this as opposed to long-range overall in Caldera. You can get away with a more aggressive build here. You don't necessarily need the control of the precision or the weighted stock, so I like that. Makes it a bit more fast-paced. Also going to go ahead and run hand stop. We got the 50-round mags on there per usual. Always running those for the better control. Obviously going for lengthens, and then also polymer for the better control as well. Perk 1, Nerves of Steel, better control while injured, which is every single gunfight. Then also fully loaded on there to maximize that ammo. Like I said, same setup that we've been running outside of obviously folding specifically for this map. Then for the Marco 5, we've talked about this in a couple of videos recently. Same setup that I've been running. I've really been enjoying. I mean, it just gets the job done, right? Going for recoil booster, the Bodhi 240 barrel for the better fire rate. Gonna go for slate reflector yet again here. I'm still liking the Perfetto stock. I just don't really like the recoil cons of these other two, but you could definitely try them out, and if they feel good, use them, because comfort is very important in a class setup at the end of the day. Also gonna go for hand stop in this case. Gonna go ahead and run the Nambu 64. 48's always a good choice too, though. Subsonic or frangible or lengthens here, whatever you prefer. Going for taped once more. Also gonna end up running Gung Ho for that instant sprint to fire, and then also Quick for the better mobility on there as well. Like I said, same setup we've been talking about recently, but it is frying to start the season. Loadout 3, we got the bar, we got the PPSH from Vanguard, because when it comes down to hip fire on a map like Fortune's Keep, you have a lot of opportunities to do so in the tight close quarters buildings. And while we do have the Akimbo Marco 5, I feel like the PPSH from Vanguard is just the best hipfire gun in the game. The Akimbo is fun, but it's not nearly as accurate as this, and the bar we all know is a top choice right now. The thing just is insanely strong. We're starting off here at the MX silencer, then also the 30-inch barrel. Gonna go ahead and run the 3 to 6 times optic here. You can use either zoom on it, and it's gonna have no recoil, which is insane. For the stock, we're going for the wire to make it a bit more aggressive, just like over on the STG. Hand stop here per usual. The Clouser 40 is a crucial part of the setup. You always want to be running that. Lengthen for the better velocity. Also going to go for polymer here for the better control. If you're comfortable with the control, you can always try tape to make it even faster. Going to go for hard scope here for the better control, and then also fully loaded to maximize that ammo. Pretty much the same bar setup we've been using for quite some time, and it's still getting the job done, and honestly has only gotten better since the season 4 update. Then like I said, we're going for hip fire here on the PPSH. So we're going to go for the 230 barrel. Better hipfire pros all around. We are still going to run the 2.5 times optic because that better control stat does actually help out with the hipfire. Remove stock, also better hipfire accuracy. For the underbarrel, M1915 steady, better control, but also better hipfire accuracy, so you love to see that. Nambu rounds here, better fire rate, better control. We love that to stack on top of everything. Frangible here in this case for that wounding effect. Rear grip, we want pine tar, better control, better hipfire accuracy. Tight grip here for perk 1, that control again helps out for that hipfire. Then I like fully loaded here just in case you're missing some stray shots. You got that maximized ammo there, so you don't have to worry about ever not having enough ammo in a gunfight. Loadout 4, of course, we gotta talk about the NZ. It's the best gun in the game by far. It's really not all that close, and the Blixen still a top 2 SMG in my opinion, right there with the Marco 5. This setup will fry everyone. Like, obviously I've talked about these other guns, they're all frying, they're all top loadouts, obviously that's why they're in the video, but this setup in particular, I mean, it just decimates everyone. So first up, we're going for MX silencer as always. Gonna go for the newly buffed and fixed orb weaver barrel. Also gonna run the 3 to 6 times optic here. 2.5 times also works just fine if you're comfortable with that. E-pack stock, we're gonna go for frenzy and perk 1. I honestly hate all these perks, none of them are very good. Perk 2 fully loaded per usual. I like honestly the taped grip here just because the recoil is so easy as is. You don't really need polymer. Sakura 50 for the magazine, lengthen for the better velocity as always, and then either you could go for the strife angled or the hand stop for the underbarrel. If you want to focus more on the horizontal control, go for strife angled. If you just want solid control in general, go for hand stop, and you got a very consistent NZ setup. Then for the Blixen, it's going to be our standard one that we've been using since it dropped pretty much. Recoil booster, the newly buffed RMK barrel, which now has better velocity and still is the best TTK option here. We've also got the slate reflector. I like the MB stock a little bit more than remove just because it's easier to land shots with MB, so I like that consistency. I feel like my realistic TTK is better because of that. Also going to end up going for the strife angled underbarrel here because there is some horizontal bounce here that's a little bit obnoxious. If you're okay with that, hand stop is never a bad choice as always. Going to go for the 54 round mags, lengthened or subsonic or frangible as always, no changes there. Rear grip, again, we're going for taped. Perk 1, I actually like perfectionist and fleet here a lot. I prefer fleet a little bit more for that movement speed, and also because I don't run amps, that weapon swap speed is kind of nice. Then perk 2, quick as always, no surprises there. And then lastly, we got a bit of an experimental one. AS44 is a primary. We're not going for like the crazy TTK build, but we're just going for a consistent and solid mid-range rifle build. And also we got the Armaguerra as a secondary, which is another great sub. As far as this build goes, first up, MX silencer, keeping us off the map, also helping out with the control sub. This gun does have a decent amount of controls, so you want to make sure you counter that accordingly. I'm going to end up going for the 615 barrel here. It's that nice, just better control, better range barrel, pretty standard on a lot of rifles. 2.5 times optic or 3 to 6, whichever you prefer. For the stock here, I actually end up going for the custom, better control during sustained fire, so of course we love to see that. Hand stop here for the underbarrel. Magazine, we're going to end up going for the Garanko 50 for the better control, better fire rate, better movement speed, makes it more aggressive all around. Lengthened on there as well for some of those mid-range fights with that better velocity. I would go for taped grip here if we were going for the max mobility TTK build, but honestly, I feel like polymer is going to be the more consistent choice here. Perk 1, gung ho, instant sprint to fire. We love to see that. So then fully loaded or even on hand for perk 2 for that faster ADS, but this is going to be a nice mid-range build here. Decent control and a really strong TTK. Then for the Armaguerra, pretty standard setup here compared to the previous videos where we've talked about this. Recoil booster, the precision barrel still is what my go-to is. Bodhi 315 is pretty solid for a super aggressive build, but to me, more realistic TTK is going to come from the 570 Precision. We also are going to run the basic red dot here, slate reflector yet again. The skeletal stock here has a great strafe speed, so it's nice and aggressive. I love that. Hand stop on here per usual, no surprises there. Going to go for the 9mm 60 basic extended mag. Also going to run subsonic or lengthened or frangible, whichever you prefer. As always, taped grip here once more. Gonna go for hard scope for the better control. Then finally, once more, we got quick on there as well. And those, in my opinion, are the top 5 best loadouts for Fortune's Keep. Of course, a few days back, we did break down my general top 5 best loadouts in the game. Several of those apply here as well. So if they weren't in this video and you're wondering, hey, where's this gun? Where's that gun? Be sure to go and check out that video. You might find a setup for it there, you know. But that's going to wrap things up. Hopefully you enjoyed, or hopefully you found the video helpful. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. That way you can always stay up to date. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.